Well, we have these great variety of sizes in these silver spheres, in the matte finish and then the shiny finish. And you don't have to think about spheres as a Christmas item only. It's something that could be used year-round in a very sculptural format. I mean, this is just one of my favorite. The vine stand, we have two of them, one on top of the glass cylinder and then another right to the floor, and just a beautiful sculptural piece here that is being put together by cradling between these two, this great big piece, and then other little niches to just nestle some of these other spheres into. So it's kind of a natural composition created by nature, actually. And I love the whole idea of the organic to that kind of a very industrial man combination. It's about the sort of the balance. It's all about the way the world is, that it has to stay in balance, that makes it so dramatic and dynamic. I can see this as a gorgeous piece for the art gallery. Now, the cool thing about this is this then becomes a structure into which you can water tube flowers and thread flowers through it to put that floral element to it. Another flower that would look absolutely fabulous in this would be water tubed orchids. Look how stunning that would be. So this really is something very simple to build with these products, and then we'll take just a few flowers, that's all. So the stunning composition you can create out of this is just absolutely endless. All different kind of combination that you can use. Now, I also have different cylinders set up almost like pedestals, some of them upright and some of them upside down. Just the mere composition here of just spheres almost floating, because they're attached, they're very light, and the surfaces are very easy to use with the U-glue strips and just attached with that adhesive. So it looks like it's just floating in there. I think that's also another way that you can use, do design on top of it, but it has this element of things just floating out there. And look at how fun it is there and there, the precariously looking like how is that possible that it's not falling over, but it's just on the edge, and how you can counterbalance it by attaching it to the underside. You know, that it's all very magical. The boat is a very interesting concept, because I don't know if you've seen Chihuly's work. He does boats with his spheres just floating on the water. You know, this is where the pool concept of some of this, and then just bobbing balls like Chihuly does in the water, that sort of setting is very, very beautiful. But I want to show you some real practical sides of using this spheres in water. And this is just an interesting demonstration here. You just want to see how the balls sort of fight for its own space as it starts to float. I mean, this is kind of fun, isn't it? The big balls are just trying to push up the little ones, and you get a very interesting configuration of where some of it gets pushed down, and you get that effect like where some of it, you don't see it so much there. Let's just turn it over a little bit, because I'm seeing something over here that might be a little bit more interesting, like that. Where this small one is being pushed down by these bigger ones, and you just get that kind of, seniority thing going on with those balls. I think that's really a lot of fun too. So it's very interesting because it gives you a nice coverage at the top. What it gives you is an opportunity for flowers to be designed into those spaces, like that, because it creates this wonderful grid that you can design into. How fun is that? Now, the other is using these little donut floater. And of course, you could then use this in combination. And then you could take like a hydrangea, big hydrangea, but you can get such mileage out of just one hydrangea by popping, just leaving little pieces like that. Really, half a head starts to fill out a lot of it. So you can see the mileage that you're going to get out of this by using something like that. And I love that as well, because hydrangea is really a very gardeny, very organic flower. And then again, the steel ball is so industrial. So that the tension between the differences, the opposites, the contrast, is really quite fabulous. And of course, once again, out of that, you could probably, and I think you're gonna have to fill the donut with water with this one, so you get a little bit more balance, but then you can get a little bit more interesting, like one piece and another piece and connecting it together so that as a unit it floats around like this, which is really, really cool. This container is maybe a little too shallow for that, but you know, it just goes to show you that there's so many possibilities. Another demonstration I want to show you here is that sometimes I might want to use something, and what I've done here is actually attached a glass piece that sort of sits nicely up against it, nestled, and I've wired it together. The reason why it stays without slipping off is because I have a U-glue up here, so it stays together, and actually I have a U-glue down below as well. But the purpose of this is so that this is always weighted down, so this stays always on the top, because then it allows me to, and I do have U-glue up on the top, it allows me to actually glue down a flower so that that floats, and then you may also have them down below on the donut, and it floats. So see, it never tips in, so that you can get it at 2 levels. And you can imagine this, if it's in a little higher cylinder, we can then expand the crystal down longer so that you could even have some orchids hanging in that cluster, and the ball always stays upright. So there's lots of great techniques, great product. And of course, if this isn't big enough, if you have a big pool you want to fill, you might want to go with a nice big piece like this. So can you, Margaret, just fill the pool? Oh my goodness, oh no.